All right, guys. Sorry about that. This is a continuation. As I was saying, it being able to call yourself, I don't remember exactly where I left off, but being able to call yourself an African American, you have to be able to trace your roots back to Africa, directly back to those slaves that were brought here for that disgusting time. Again, a stain on our history. I will admit that. It was a stain on our history, but it happened. There's nothing that we can do about it. I wasn't a part of it. You weren't a part of it. And if you're black, you probably weren't a part of it. Because, there was a lot of mixing back then. There was a lot of, slave owners sometimes would engage and, they they would, have relations with some of the slave women and have children and blah 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 blah, and we all know what happens from there. Things start, they start mixing, and that's where our lineage gets kind of screwed up and kind of not where where we want it to be. And again, if you can trace your roots, whether you're white or black, if you can trace your roots back to that and be able to really call yourself an African American, go for it. Call yourself that. But if you're not an African American, what's wrong with just calling yourself an American? That's what we all are, aren't we? I mean, we all live here in America. We're all free. That's, we're all in this together. I mean, whether we want to be or not, we are all in this together. We just are. I mean, we can't really do anything about it. We are Americans. We are in this. We are in this country together. We need to stop fighting with each other. We need to stop hating each other. Like, you see a shift. Like, back in the day, everybody was racist against white guys and white people. Or, excuse me. Brain's getting a little... Anyway, everybody didn't like the black guy. He was shunned and, And again, we all are scared of what we don't know. What we don't understand. We're scared of that. We lash out on that. We sometimes are racist to that. So back in the day, hey, use the N-word quite a good bit. And again, that's another thing we're going to address too. We're going to address that word. And we're going to address where it came from, how it got to be used, who should use it, who shouldn't use it, blah, blah, blah. We're going to address that. Just hold your panties on for just a minute and let's take this ride together. All right, let's. You hold the head steady. I'll milk the cow. Okay. All right, got it. I got it. But yeah. I mean, I don't understand where we get off today, where black people are so racist against white people, and I hear all the time, "Hey, there's no such thing as reverse racism." I'm like, yes, there is. There's such thing as it. It's happening every day. It's kind of crazy to watch, really is, and it'll kind of boggle your mind. You're sitting here looking at this person, they're being racist towards you, and you're like, whoa. I'm sitting here being nice to you, I don't understand. And it's only people that really don't understand what's going on. They don't have the mental capacity to understand what's really going on. They don't know that the group that they follow is duping them completely. Let's talk Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about it. I have said in other videos that I do not support Black Lives Matter. I never will. And the reason why is it's not because I don't think that black lives don't matter. That's far from my thinking. The reason why I don't support them as a group is because they are a domestic terrorist group. Plain and simple. Across the board. Just like the KKK. They were a domestic terrorist group. You don't see so much of them anymore. They've kind of been pushed over to the side, and I mean, you see a little bit of them pop up here and there, and they kind of do their little thing, and they disappear. And you know, those guys are like radical, super duper far right, like really, really radical people, and you don't really see that a lot around here. Not anymore. I know South Carolina, we were a hotbed for that, but you don't really see that much anymore, so I don't really worry about it as much. But BLM, Black Lives Matter, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves, and that we're going to get into the NFAC, I think that's what it's called, the Not Fucking Around Coalition or something like that. Bunch of fucking morons. Again, we're going to get into that in just a minute. We're going to also get into, you know, the whole N-word and all that good stuff. We'll get into that in a minute too, but, you know, I kind of just want to address BLM, and BLM is, its leader's he's a white guy. All your money that, if you donated money to BLM, hey, that's great. You know, if you want to donate money to whoever you want, go right ahead, but know where your money's going, know what it's going to, who it's going to, what it's going for. Those are the important aspects of what you should know and what you shouldn't know. Because they're not going to tell you. They are not going to tell you. Because they're devious little bastards. Let's just get that out there. They're devious. Not saying that people on Republican sides aren't devious. You're going to have it everywhere you go. No matter which way you swing it, you're going to have devious people out there. Whatever side of the fence you go on, whether you're in the middle of the fence, whether you're on the left side of the fence or the right side of the fence, you're going to have that deviousness, and all the way straight down the middle, it's going to be either left side, right side. They don't fall short of it. There's no this is that and that is this, and there's always devious people no matter where you go, no matter what you do. Anyway, that being said, BLM is ran by a white guy who works for the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, or the Democratic Party. The money that he gets goes to fund and push their agenda, push what they're all about, which is socialism. And that's one thing we can't have in this country. That's one thing we absolutely cannot have in this country is socialism. We cannot have it. You know, I took an oath to protect this country from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. And that's exactly what BLM is. It is a domestic terrorist group. Anytime you incite violence, anytime you do anything like that, and again, this video is not made to do that. I'm not trying to incite violence. I'm not trying to incite hate. I'm just trying to tell you the truth that a lot of people aren't going to tell you. They're just not. They want you to follow their agenda and their agenda only. The thing I want you to do is think a little bit. Think about what side you should go on. Think about who's on that side, what they're doing, what they're all about. Think about what they're about. I mean, on the left side here, you got your Socialist Democratic Party who's, want to take everything away from you and make everything not about you anymore. They want to make it government ran, government this. They want to give you free this, free that, free this, free that. But the thing you got to ask yourself, who's paying for all this free stuff? Because nothing's free. It's all paid for by somebody. It's all paid for by somebody. Who? Who is it paid for by? And when they say, we're going to tax the wealthy, well, what do you consider wealthy? Do you consider $30,000 a year wealthy? Do you consider $40,000 a year wealthy? Do you consider $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year wealthy? Because some people making that amount of money are barely scraping by. And that's the truth. So really, what do you call being wealthy? See, they use these buzzwords and they don't really tell you the meaning behind these buzzwords. You hear, oh, they're going to tax the wealthy. What does that mean? Oh, they're taxing the wealthy. Well, what does taxing the wealthy mean? What does it entail? Who's the wealthy? Who in your eyes would be the wealthy? The wealthy to them could be, only people making $80,000 a year could be wealthy, and then people making $800,000, $900,000 a year aren't wealthy. And they're not. Those people, depending on where you live, depending on those circumstances, those people probably aren't wealthy either. It doesn't matter. It's how you live. It's how you do things is what makes you wealthy. It's how you treat people. It's your whole demeanor. I could be the poorest man in the world, but have the biggest heart and still be the wealthiest person in the world. You understand what I mean? You see where I'm coming from here? And again, you got to think about that. Well, what does wealthy really mean? What does that mean? You're going to tax the wealthy. I would rather hear you say, we're going to give everybody a tax break. Huge tax break. Who wants to pay taxes? Nobody. Do I want 20% of my money going to the government? No, I don't want that. 15, 20%, whatever it is, somewhere in there, they're fucking you. Trying to cut down on the language a little bit. Essentially they're fucking you. And it's, with a limp rubber dick with no lube. And it's not a fun, don't ask me how I know, but that's not fun. Just, again, that's a joke. Anyway. But yeah, it's insane to just sit back and hear some of the things that these guys preach about and they say, and it's a hard thing to go by. Now, again, let's go to this N word. Who should use it? Who shouldn't use it? What does it mean? What makes you that? And the word that I'm talking about, everybody knows it, it's that Nigger word. Not the one with the A on the end, not the one, again, that could be highly offensive to people. But yet, the people that find it highly offensive are the ones that use it every single day. No matter which connotation you use of it, it means the same exact thing. I could be like, hey, nigga, what's up, bro? Well, I'm still, it's the same connotation. It's the same, it means exactly the same thing. Means exactly the same thing. There's no getting around it. It means the same thing. If you look it up, it has nothing to do with race. Now, was it used in a negative way? Yes. Was it used badly? Yes. Was it taken and turned and used in a way that it shouldn't have been? Yes, it was. I'll give you that. But if you look at the actual Webster meaning of it, there's nothing, it just means you're stupid, you're dumb. You're an ignorant person. And I think that's where we get, things misconstrued about stuff. We misunderstand, and we misinform, and we misinterpret. And, again, all this, hey, nigga, what's up, brother, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear it. Because if you as a black man can sit there and call somebody a nigga or something like that, why can't I sit there and be like, hey, nigger? It means the exact same thing, right? Or I even see a white guy, I'm like, man, the dumb nigger. Because he is. He's ignorant. He's stupid. Am I using it in a racist way? No. Because I'm talking to another white guy. How can I be racist? And let's understand about the word racist. It means you dislike someone for their skin color. Skin color. I'm calling another white guy a nigger. I'm not calling him that because his skin is dark. I'm calling him that because I think he's stupid. You see what I'm saying? Of course, I wouldn't say that. It's just an example. Everything that I'm saying is just an example. But before you get ass hurt, it's all an example. So chill the fuck out if you're watching this video. Chill the fuck out. Let's all be happy. Fuck it. We got but one life to live anyway. Let's just be fucking happy and doing it. So, with that being said, that's out of the way. All you little pansies that get ass hurt over words, I'm sorry. I'm not, but I'm sorry. Again, so let's clarify here. Let's clarify a little bit. So two black guys out on a basketball court, or out on a track, or out doing whatever. They're in the mall shopping, or Walmart shopping. Who the fuck knows? Who the hell knows? Let's just say, excuse me, two black guys out shopping, doing their thing, or in a car ride. That's a little bit better. And they're riding in a car, and they're having a conversation, and hey nigga, how you doing, brother? Blah blah blah. Man, you see that nigga the other night, man? You blah. And every other word out of their mouth is that nigga. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if I was me as a white guy, if I had been like, hey nigga, I got a little something to worry about. I do. I would have a little something. They would get highly offended and be like, hey, you're a white guy. You can't say that. You're going to get a pass. Well, fuck that. That's not the way it works, buddy boy. You can call each other that, and to you, it's like a brotherhood. It's like, hey, that's my brother. It's not what it means, dude. You're just calling him ignorant. You're letting him call you ignorant. You should have a little bit more respect for yourself and not let somebody call you ignorant unless you are truly ignorant. Then that is a whole other thing in of itself. So again, that's what the word means. It means you're ignorant, you're dumb. It has nothing to do with skin color. Not anything at all to do with skin color. And a lot of people don't get that. It's nothing to do. Skin color, look it up. Use your phone. Hey Alexa, or hey Siri, or hey Google, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? Use your brains, people. Use your brain. That's all I'm saying. So is it okay to say it? No. If you find it offensive, then no, it's not. It's not okay to say it. Now, should you be offended at every word that comes out of everybody's mouth? No. Because people are going to say some stupid shit. Are there racist people out in this world that use that word in a negative connotation? Yes. Yes, there are. Lots and lots of people use that word in a negative connotation. And they don't understand the meaning of the word either. They just know that it's something offensive. You're going to find it offensive. So, hey, they're going to cut it. They're going to take that knife, and cut as deep as possible with the words that they use. Which I find fascinating. I find that fascinating. Like, we try to hit below the belt whenever we're angry at somebody and we're mad and we're upset and all this good stuff, and we don't take the time to think, like, hey, how does this really affect someone? Does it really bother them? And if you get ass hurt over the smallest words, like me saying the word nigger or nigga or whatever, you have a lot of other issues on your hand because, again, I'm not using it in a racist connotation. I'm trying to give you examples of what that word actually means. Again, I'm not trying to incite violence. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm trying to help you have a little bit more understanding, a little bit more clarity into things. And it's pretty insane to me to watch, especially someone of color, a black person, African American, whatever you want to call yourself. Again, you know, again, to me, you're just an American. I just see, and I'm going to judge you based on your character, based on your actions, not the color of your skin. Because I can have a conversation, an active conversation, with someone who's a different color than me, just like I can have an active conversation and a decent conversation with someone who's the same color as me. It doesn't matter. Racism is taught. I'm going to tell you that. Racism is taught. Like my kids, they got a little friend, she's a mixed girl. I have not taught them to see that. They just see that she's a little girl. They're like, hey, Daddy, why is she a different color? I'm like, hey, that's just how God made us. That's all I tell her. But they don't see it as being wrong. They don't see her skin color as being bad. But yet, racism is taught. Racism is something that is instilled. It's not something that we're born with. It's kind of like being gay. You're not born gay. Ooh. Touched a nerve on that one. Ooh. Over here touching nerve, all kind of nerves today. Fuck them. You're not born racist. You're not born knowing what race is. It's taught. If you teach your kids to be racist, then they're going to be racist. If you teach your kids to hate black people, hate white people, hate this, hate that, it's what they're going to hate. And it's a shame that, we do have that racism on both ends, that it's a real shame that we have that, and we can't bind together and really come together on things. It's a real shame that we have that. It really is, because I'm a pretty nice guy. I try to do as much for people as I possibly can. I try to put myself second, third, fifth, eighth, 12th, whatever, and do for others, do for my family. Do whatever I can for other people to help them out. But, sometimes you have to keep that within your family, so to speak. It's just really sad to see from both ends, whether you're white or black. It's really hard seeing that racism coming. And yes, it comes from both ends. Really does, and it's because it's been taught. It's been taught. You don't just come out of your mama's womb just like already racist. Just like you don't pop out of your mom like, woo, oh boy, I like boys. No, fuck that. No, that doesn't happen. I'm sorry, man. You're a fucking moron if you believe that. If you like, and look, again, you like what you like. I like what I like. You like boys, you like boys. If you like girls, if you're a girl, scratch that, reverse it. If you're a guy and you like guys, cool, whatever. You do you. You're a girl and you like girls, hey, cool, whatever. You do you. You do your thing, you have fun, you do what you do. You have all the gay pride you want. You have all the gay butt sex you want to have. You do. If that's what you want, then great. Just don't bring that shit around here. Now, my wife has a gay friend that she works with. Really super cool dude. I mean, you look at him, he don't look gay. He don't look gay at all. You're just like, what the fuck? He's gay? What the shit? Dude drives a big truck and wears camo, and you're like, fuck. And he likes dicks? What the fuck? This motherfucker should be over here grabbing pussies, and he likes dicks? It kind of threw me, it threw me for a loop, and so what we see is actually being gay. You just never know. So, I mean, and again, if that's what you want, that's what you like, fucking go for it, man. But you weren't born that way. You absolutely were not born that way, just like you weren't born racist. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Tell you a little secret. My parents, they were racist. You know, they were brought up in that. Because my grandma, from where my grandma's from, she's from the hills of Appalachia. I mean, she was a moonshiner, God rest her soul. Great lady. I mean, I love this woman to death. She always told it like it was. Didn't give two shits what anyone thought. Very close to her. She was racist as hell. She really was. Not gonna lie about it. And again, she raised my mom to be that way. And my parents, I heard it a lot when I was coming up. But it's not something. It's just not something that I wanted to follow, and it's not something that I wanted to take part in. And it's not. And I'm not racist. I don't. No, absolutely not. It's not something. Again, I'm not proud of my parents for being that way. They've kind of gotten more out of it now that they're a little bit older. Um, but yeah, they've gotten out of it more now that they're a little bit older, a little bit more wiser, so to speak. So, that which is good. That's really, really good. And again, being raised up like that, I didn't follow in those footsteps. Even though I heard it a lot, they didn't really instill it. You know what I mean? Again, something that is taught, and if it's like hammered into your head and hammered into your head and hammered into your head, you're gonna believe it. You're gonna start thinking that way. But I guess I'm one of the rare ones that didn't, and I still don't. And I just think that we're all equal. We're all the same. You cut us open, we're all gonna bleed the same. We're all gonna, it takes a bullet to kill me, just like it would take a bullet to kill you. And somebody could stab me in the lungs with a knife tomorrow. Hey, another knife reference. Blah blah blah. you know, it's crazy. It's really, really, really insane. People, my neighbors are looking at me like I'm fucking insane right now because I'm talking to a camera. So, I'm talking to my phone. There's nobody on the other side. I should be video chatting, but I'm not. I'm talking to you guys. I'm in there. um, but yeah, I didn't want to follow in those footsteps. I didn't want to be like my parents. I wanted to be more understanding, more in tune to other people, and that's how I've been. And it really bothers me that, everybody gets called racist, everybody gets called this, or everybody gets called that. It's just insane to me. And it's not the case. It's definitely not the case. Everybody wants to, call the president racist, but I'm going to be honest with you. Trump has done more for the black community than Obama ever did. Go look it up. You don't want to believe me? Go look it up. Trump's done more for the black community. How can a man that's done so much for the black community be racist? How? How? How can that be possible? There's another one for you. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to edit that out either. I don't edit. Get the raw me by farting camera. Hey, everybody does it. Anyway, um, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this one short. We'll get back on the subject again another day. I just had a few extra minutes, actually more than a few, about 30, about 30 minutes to really get into this with you guys. Hope you enjoyed all the knives I've featured. Again, you like what I'm talking about. If you don't like what I'm talking about, hey, still smash the like button. Still do what you got to do. Hit all that shit. Subscribe. If you like the knives, subscribe for those. If you like to talk, subscribe for those. If not, hey, who knows? Who cares? If you don't subscribe, you don't. If you don't watch this video, you don't. As always, have a great day, and it's always a wonderful day here in South Carolina. You guys stay lovely.